What's up, Tamers? Welcome back to The Other Decks. My name's Adobo, and I'm very excited to be bringing you this new two-color Digimon deck that I'm working on that I'm calling Blue-Purple Kaiser Cerberusmon. Now, as you can probably tell from the title of that, it does revolve around Cerberusmon and Cerberusmon Werewolf mode. I love the inherent synergy between two cards, and I was originally going to build a mono-purple deck that was kind of centered around that, but then I was like, wait, can I Kaiser nail this? And as it turns out, you can. So let's head over to the playmat and show you what I'm talking about. In order for this to work out, we do need Cerberusmon to be on the field already. Then on our turn, we'll hard play Cerberusmon Werewolf mode for 9, which seems like a lot of memory, but it does have an on-play ability that says you can delete one of your own Cerberusmon in order to gain 9 memory. So we'll delete this Cerberusmon, which also has a very nice on-deletion ability, trigger draw 2, and then trash 1 card in your hand. And then we get our 9 memory back, putting us back at 3. Now the beautiful thing about this is that we get the card draw, but also our Cerberusmon Werewolf mode has Rush, so it can attack this turn. So this play alone is good on its own, because then it has Rush, it can attack the security, and can come in handy if you really needed to. From here, we can then Digivolve into a Mega, such as this Lilithmon, for 3, and then we can play Kaiser Nail. Now, Kaiser Nail says that we can choose a Digimon Digivolution card, place under one of our Digimon, and play it as if it was another Digimon without paying its memory. So in this particular case, we'll pay 4, and then play Cerberusmon Werewolf mode as if it is another Digimon. Now this seems pretty nice. It's obviously better if you don't pass a turn and you can get a hit off. Even better if Lilithmon was also able to attack. But this isn't necessarily the wombo combo that we're aiming for. Now this is the wombo combo that we're setting up for. It does require this particular setup where we both have Cerberusmon and Cerberusmon Werewolf mode out on the field already. But we can Digivolve our Werewolf mode into our Mega, say Lilithmon, for 3, and then we can play our Kaiser Nail for 4, but really for 2 because of Lilithmon. We play Cerberusmon Werewolf mode as if it is a normal Digimon, and because of this, our on-play ability, we can delete one of our Cerberusmon to gain 9 memory. That's right, we don't need to spend 9 memory to gain 9 memory. All we need to do is play it from underneath the Lilithmon. And we have gained a net total of 4 memory from that play. And we have 2 Digimon that are able to attack. Lilithmon because we evolved it onto a Digimon that could have attacked already. And then Cerberusmon Werewolf mode, which yes, we did play it this turn, but it has Rush. So that's kind of the meat and potatoes of this deck list, is to use Cerberusmon Werewolf mode, evolve or Digivolve into something bigger, and we have a couple Megas that will do that, and then use Kaiser Nail to get our Cerberusmon Werewolf mode back. So, with all that said, let's go check out the deck list. And here we have the deck list. We're working with about 41 purple. I don't know why I said about. We are indeed factually working with 41 purple and 14 blue cards. And I like the 14 blue cards primarily because in order for me to call it a two-colored hybrid deck, I need to have at least 10 cards of the other color in it. I realize that that's just a me thing, but that's the standards I'm putting myself under. But there are particular reasons for this, and I will explain them in a bit. But starting off, let's go with the Digitama. We are going with a full purple core here. So we do have 4 copies of Demi-Merimon. This is awesome because on deletion, we get to trigger draw 1, trash 1. Drawing is very nice so that we can get to the cards that we need, primarily our Cerberusmons and our Megas. But we do have 1 copy of Xiaomon. This is just a nice utility card in case, ideally late game, but when there are 10 or more Digimon cards in your trash, this Digimon gains Retaliation, which obviously is very nice. Going into our rookies, we're going to start with the blue ones, and I have 4 copies of the level 3 Monmon. This is nice because it is blue, so our options are going to trigger if it's on the field, but also it is a blocker, which is very nice, and something that, as you'll see in the rest of the deck, we kind of need a little bit of. And then onto this, we do have the rookie king himself, level 3 Veemon. We all know it, we all love it, we've all probably played against it, but this is the one that has jamming, so it can't be deleted against security Digimon. Not only is this a powerful rookie, but it'll actually become a primary target for one of our megas. Sneak peek, in case you haven't guessed, it's Anubismon. Next up, let's go to Gabumon. We only have 2 copies, but I had to include the boy here. Level 3 Gabumon has an inheritable, so we do need Digivolve on it, but it has on deletion, trigger, draw 2, trash 1. Speaking of card draw, here's Tapermon. Been around since Booster Special Set 1.0. So this is the on deletion Tapermon that allows us to draw one. Obviously a great target to just swing into security, apply some of that pressure, but also, as you can see over to the right over here, I can't remember directions, but we do have 2 copies of Chimeramon, but I'm getting ahead of myself. And then we do have 4 copies of the new Labramon. This has an on-play ability that says trigger, draw 1, trash 1. Moving on to the champions or our level 4s, we do have 3 copies of Devimon. This is the one that has both retaliation as its active ability and inheritable. And then we have 2 more copies of the other Devimon that came out in the starter decks, and this is the blocker that digivolves for 1. Moving on to our ultimates and really the stars of this deck, we do have our 2 copies of Chimeramon. This is just because it has a very powerful on-play ability to delete one of our own Digimon, which obviously the targets there are sort of our rookies, specifically Tapermon, and then we can delete one of our opponent's level 5s or lower. Fantastic ability and a great way to put a level 5 on the board while also destroying something of theirs. But going on to the stars, we do have 3 copies of Cerberusmon, which on deletion trigger, draw 2, trash 1, obviously very nice. And then Cerberusmon Werewolf mode, which we discussed earlier, has rush and has that on-play ability to delete one of your Cerberusmons to gain 9 memory. Now, the megas that we're going to pair that up with are Lilithmon, Malomyotismon, and Anubismon. So Lilithmon, I think we've already seen the value of this. It synergizes very well with sort of the options that we are hoping for, specifically Kaiser Nail, as well as, we're running Trump Swords in here because, we're a purple deck, we need some hard removal. So this just works very great with that. Now an explanation on the Malomyotismon. In the previous set 1.5, I actually used a budget Malomyotismon and kind of fell in love with this ability that on all turns when another Digimon is deleted, I gain a memory. And as you can probably tell from, just purple in general, but this deck specifically, we are deleting a lot of our own stuff. So I would love to gain a memory. So in an ideal world, we do that here. Specifically, like if we set up that combo from earlier, but instead of Lilithmon, we put Malomyotismon, we do gain that 1 memory when Cerberusmon deletes. And then the last mega that we have here, another 2 copies, we have Anubismon. Now this one, I mean, ever since Anubismon has been announced, I was super excited about it. When digivolving, you can play a level 3 Digimon from your trash without paying its memory cost, and on your turn, when I play a Digimon from the trash, that Digimon gains rush. Notice that level 3 is not color specific. So, remember our friend, the king of rookies, Veemon? That's right, we can summon from the grave and then give this thing not only jamming, but rush. So it's a rush jamming Veemon, which is absolutely fantastic. But that's also why I opted for more of the level 3 blocker in Monmon, because we can also bring this back in case we're in like a tight situation and bring back a blocker that we need. So those are our main targets for Anubismon, but if for some reason none of them are in the grave, we can always play Labramon and get that card draw, or play Tapermon and get that free card draw, because we don't need trash 1, ideally. I imagine 2K is going to die in security anyway. Anywho, moving on to our options, we do have 3 copies of Kaiser Nail. I've talked at length about the wonders of Kaiser Nail. The fact that it's not a specific color Digimon that we have to pull out is very nice, and the fact that it has the security effect, activate this card's main effect, not ideal for what we're trying to do, but hey, that's more Digimon that we can swing with later. Next up for the purples, we do have 3 copies of Trump Sword. This deletes one of the opponent's unsuspended Digimon. This is just great because it's very hard removal. And then to round it up, we do have 2 copies of Jack Raid. So gain a memory for every 10 cards in your trash. This is 0 cost normally to play, and has a nice security ability of gain 2 memory. I originally had and was playing with Hammer Spark in this slot, but I like Jack Raid mostly because we are guaranteed to be able to activate it because we are running purple Digitama, where I didn't necessarily want the risk of having Hammer Spark in my hand and not being able to use it. And then finally, to round out our tamers, we have both the blue and the purple copy of Matt Ishida from BT2. Well, BT2 and the starter deck too. So the blue Matt Ishida here, at start of your turn, if your opponent has a Digimon with no Digivolution cards, gain a memory. This is just like an in-case thing. I primarily have blue Matt just because I wanted to be able to play something that would give me recurring value throughout the match, while also allowing me to activate Kaiser Nail. And then probably the more important Matt Ishida is the purple one. So at the start of your turn, if you have 2 or less, set it to 3. So this is our memory tamer, and as you saw from our combo, 3 is kind of a very important number for us for most things because it allows us to Digivolve into Lilithmon without having to pass turn. And then on play, we can return one of our purple Digimon or purple option cards from trash to our hand. And there's no specific targets for this that we're looking for. It's mostly just feeling out how the game's going. Originally, I did have some Mimis in here because I like the way Mimi synergizes with the options that we use. However, the fact that I didn't have a memory tamer in here was kind of killing me. And if we get memory starved in the 1 or 2 spots, I think this deck kind of has a hard time running. So there's the deck. Here's the list and the numbers kind of in a nice condensed form. Let me know in the comments what you think about this deck. I know there's probably a couple different things that I could put in here, and I also tried to squeeze in the blue Cerberusmon because it would still work with our werewolf mode, and it does have a nice ability that twice per turn you can trash 3 cards from your hand to unsuspend it and attack again, essentially, which does a lot of things that works very well with both purple and blue, but didn't necessarily know where to fit it. I'm also wondering, do we lose a Mega and then just go with 3 copies of each for the consistency, or kind of have this 3 Mega setup? There's a bunch of questions here, but I'm very excited about this deck overall. I think it's kind of fun, kind of crazy, and I'm looking forward to building it and just testing it out against my friends. So, but yeah, let me know in the comments what you think. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like. Hit that subscribe button. I don't think there's a bell notification anymore, but if there is, hit the bell. If not, I appreciate you thinking about hitting that bell. But yeah, let me know what color combination you're looking forward to next. And until next time, I'll see y'all.